All right, so I'm going to show you guys my Gruul Infect emo deck that I've been playing about 3 weeks now. Um, this is probably like a deck I'm so excited about that I'm going to probably be a serious guy, a serious kind of guy. We're going to go through this real quick, and then we're going to do a deck tech video afterwards. This thing is turn 2 all over, man. Turn 3 all over the place, always. So good. So let's get into our creature base. We have 1, 2, 3 Wild Cantor. That's a very cool, interesting card and very unique. So it can be paid with either red or green. 1. Sacrifice Wild Cantor and add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. That's pretty cool for mana fixing. Sure, like in a nice rainbow deck or something, but in this deck, this has a very specific purpose. So we're running just 3 of these. We've tried 2 and we've tried 4, but 3 is the magic number. So 3 of those. Put those down there. I like that better. All right. And of course, we said we weren't going to, but we thought we'll use them a little differently. We got the Venerated Rot Priest. And whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. You guys are saying, why is this the Gruul Infect emo deck? Well, you will find out. And that is a secret. If you watch the whole video, I will show you why this is a Gruul Infect emo deck. And it's very hilarious. So we have Gliss here. This is old guard, man. My first Infect deck, when I first got back into playing Magic, I had a playset of these. And we have a 1, a 2, a 3. And we're running 3 Glistener Elves to get that damage through early. And then a Glistener Elf turn 2 win. So get Glistener Elf out, play Scale up, and then hit Glistener Elf with one of our pumpers and deliver. So, yeah, I believe Groundswell or Croson Grip will do it. Anyways, we'll continue on here. So Ignoble Hierarch. So this can be our, there's part of our emo deck. Look at, we got a black mana producer right there. Ignoble Hierarch, Exalted. So when a creature attacks alone, it gets +1/+1. And that can really push us forward with this infect damage. So we're going to just be running 2 of these. So honestly, I'd probably may not run this if it didn't have that Exalted, but I just like that very much. That's very good to get that extra damage in. And that would be our creature base right there. So that is 15 creatures, correct? 12 creatures, duh. I don't know why I thought so many. Oh, but wait, there's more. There is more creatures. I was going to say, I hit him in the back. Hold on. You'll like it. Ground Rift. 1, 2, 3, a 4. Ground Rift. Target creature without flying cannot block this turn. Storm. When you play this spell, copy it for each spell played before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. Of course, this is going to be reacting with our Rot Priest. So we have a little bit of a Storm route. This is a very dual deck here. We didn't want to go full Storm because of the fragility of it. So we got March of Burgeoning Life. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of green cards from your hand. The spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. Choose target creature card with mana value less than X. Search your library for a creature card with the same name as that creature and put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So this is pretty useful for us because, say turn 1 we play Glistener, okay? And we have this in our hand. Turn 2 we play our lands. And we can get another Glistener. We can get another Rot Priest. Whatever we're going to have on the board. So if we have a Glistener and we want another one, on the board. Another Rot Priest, we can get it directly from our deck on the board for just 1 and a green, typically. So let's see here. Yeah, mana value less than X. So yeah, it was 1 and a green, and get it popped right out onto the battlefield. So 2 Rot Priests on there for 1 and a green, and we're going to double our damage. So we're running just 2 of these, though. Even, you could almost, I'd say 1 might be okay, but 2 so we just can recur it a little bit. Now here's where things get interesting. These 2 special lands. Now these are from my old Infect deck. We are running 2 Inkmoth Nexus. Add 1 to your mana pool. Pay 1. Inkmoth Nexus becomes a 1/1 Blink Moth artifact creature with flying and infect until end of turn. It's still a land. So, just to answer a question, in case anybody has this, because I know a lot of people do not run Inkmoth. This is kind of old school modern Infect. And Inkmoth, so I cannot pay, like if I play Inkmoth, right, on turn 1, say, and then tap Inkmoth, um, to create this, I have a tapped ink moth creature that has summoning sickness. I mean, so like, even if you can pay this when this comes out, this when it becomes the creature, it will have the summoning sickness if it's played on the turn. Like if you transform it on the turn that you play it. So the way to play this would be like play ink moth, and then on the next turn, transform it. You'll have a mana, bump it, and send the damage through. Now, Ink Moth does work in this deck because sometimes we'll find ourselves at like 8 or 9 damage of infect damage turn 2. And then turn 3, send an Ink Moth with that flying. Very nice. Oh, got some lands there. Oh, and we need to those around. Ah, there we go. Perfect. All right. So there's Ink Moth. And I got those in the kind of by the creatures, but those are lands. Those are in the 16 lands. And we're running Mishra's Bauble again to like get a storm count and to get card draw if we need it. Tap and sacrifice Mishra's Bauble. Look at the top card of target player's library. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Very powerful card. 1, 2, 3 Mishra's Baubles. Okay. And Might of Old Crow. So this is to pump our Moth. This is going to pump our Glistener Elf. And if we need be pump Rot Priest even. We got 3 of those. We have Blossoming Defense. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. So playing this is an instant to protect our board because we do not want to be jammed up. And also if we're going to pump something, say with like Krosan Grip, if we're going to be playing 2 of these, we should always play Blossoming Defense to make our thing hexproof. 3. Mutagenic Growth. Who doesn't like a free spell that you can pay with life, right? Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You can pay 2 life or a green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just kidding. There's only 4 of them. But, oh my goodness. What a wonderful, powerful card in the deck. And we have Gut Shot, a similar card that does 1 damage. So this will get rid of pesky blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 of those. Or we can use it dually to get our storm count. Those pesky blockers out of there. Or we can use it to target a swelled up Rot Priest a few times to, again, initiate those toxic, the infect counters. Get the poison counters from Rot Priest's effect. So Groundswell, we're going to run 2 Groundswells. This is Krosan Grip, but with like if you had a land enter the battlefield under your control this turn, that creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn instead. So, very good card, but we're only running 2 just because of that prerequisite, because we're not having land enter all the time. Definitely lighten the land department in this deck. We have Scale Up. We are running 1, 2, 3 Scale Up. Oh! Can't see that. Jeez. So, 3 Scale Ups. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a green worm with base power and toughness 6/4. So, the infect, the flying, whatever it may be, remains. This just becomes this in addition to its other things. So, this will get 6. Like, say we play like ground, play a land, turn 2. Play Gliss, turn 1. Play a land, turn 2. Tap land. Play this on Gliss. Play that over the top of it, and you have a 10, what's that, a 10/8. You'd have a 10/8 creature and doing that 10 infect. So, very wonderful. We're running 1 Rancor. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. When Rancor is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return Rancor to its owner's hand. And then, we'll go through the land base, and you guys are probably still saying, why emo? What do you mean emo Gruul? It just looks Gruul to me. But we have our Ink Moth. We have 1, 2 Carplusian Forests. We have Grove of the Burn Willows. I had to take some of these out of an old deck, and I ended up buying some different ones, and I liked some of the new ones I bought, so I switched them back over. But you know how it goes. You can add 1 colorless to your mana pool, or add a red or a green to your mana pool, and each opponent gains 1 life. We don't care about anybody gaining life with this deck, so go ahead and do that. We have 1, let's see, I know these are a little, let me find it. I know I got, there's 1. There should be 3 Grove of the Burn Willows here. I thought. All right, maybe 1, 2. Oh, there it is. Okay. So yeah, we have, this is the one from our other deck, commander deck, and we took this out of there and switched it because we like this one so much. So we have 1, 2, 3 Grove of the Burn Willows. These gemstone mine enters the battlefield with 3 mining counters on it. Remove a mining counter from gemstone mine and add 1 mana of any color. If there are no mining counters on gemstone mine, sacrifice it. We have a nice foil version, and this version, which looks so dang weird to me because the frame, it just looks bizarre. But 2 of those. We have 2 Stomping Grounds. Sorry about the mana. I thought I had it all set up, man, I tell you. So we got 2 Stomping Grounds. All right, and we have 1, 2, 3 Copperline Gorge. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. 3 of those. We have 1 Basic Forest. Oh, there they are. I knew I had a couple guys hiding in the back. Okay, now Llanowar Wastes. Add a black or a green. Llanowar Waste deals 1 damage to you. Very strange, a little bit of black there. So we have 2 Spell Skites. And change target of target spell or ability to Spell Skite. And we can pay that with Phyrexian or 1 blue. So what's beautiful about this, if we get 2 of these on the board, we can pay these back and forth and really rack it up with the Rot Priest. So that's almost like a mini combo in itself. And here we go. You want to know why it's emo? So this is from a deck I ran, I want to say like, it was a while back. But it was a Gruul infect. And this is the only thing that remains out of it besides one of those Glistener Elves and a couple more cards, the Ink Moths. But right here, this is the sad bug. Flying Infect. And it's a 1/1. And believe it or not, this thing has done its work. I kept this in here like to have the cute title, you know. But this thing does work in this deck. So this is why it is the Gruul Infect, but it's emo. It's got this sad bug in it. So tune in for the next video because we're going to do some deck tech. We're going to show what this can do and how it wins. And I'm going to go ahead and link you guys a link down in the description. And in that link, you'll find a thing that takes you to the Lizards of the Toast at Mox Field. So you can go ahead and look at this deck yourself. And all the cards that you see here, I did my best. Almost all of them are the versions that you see here. So I really was meticulous. And you can see my other decks on there. A lot of my decks I haven't uploaded yet. So we'll have some more coming up. And I really appreciate you guys watching. And good things, right? I hope you guys have some fun games because we know we're going to. And I just can't wait to try my new Commander deck and give this guy some more goes. But this deck has been just amazing. I've had so much fun with it. So I would suggest, you know, that Storm thing with the Rot Priest, it came out swinging, right? But if you like the Infect, and if you played it, you know, before Rot Priest, which I did, and then I was like very skeptical of Rot Priest because I saw it as a weakness. Like I was like, that's weak, man. That's a glass cannon. But after messing around with it and looking at all the different builds, right here, if you like Infect and you want to play something different, I would say like go ahead and make a deck. You know, go ahead and I'm not protective of my decks or anything. I make bad decks. They're weird. We know this. Like, so in the comments, or if anybody like says like these decks suck, well, yeah, that's the point, man. But they don't suck. I mean, from my perspective, this deck is really slammed and definitely. I noticed like the opponents have always said like, man, that I did not expect that. That's different, and it's kind of cool. It's infectiously unique, but with a twist because it has a black bug in it, and it's crazy, but the black bug does work along with Ink Moth. So this one, like, it creates a state where, say like a Hammer Time deck or something, decks that use the monkey, even the monkey can be a problem like always, but with this deck, it is really neat just how like you can jam up your opponent a little bit to where it's like, hey, it's turn 2, you have lethal coming at you. I know you want to combo off, but if you want to make it to your next turn, you're going to need to deal with this now. So that's how this wins, actually, is like creating a state where our opponents always like kept on their toes. Like with like Rot Priest, if you just used Rot Priest, It's like, okay, Rot Priest is there. The opponent knows like they can target him. They're gonna get some poison counters. But with this, it's like, hey, it's turn 2. You have 8 poison counters. I put out a Rot Priest and pass the turn to you. Like, what are you gonna do? So it really, this really is like a very aggro, like put your opponent on the defensive immediately. So it's very fun, and it has that staying power too. I found against like Simic decks, what was it? Gosh, I can't think what it was. It was I'm trying to think what the deck was called, but it was black, blue, and green. And that deck was pretty fast and really like espionage, like discard, making you discard, and that kind of was a problem. But even that one, like, I lost the first 2 games against that, and then playing like out of like 10 games after losing like because of this discard, I was like, I'm gonna do this differently. So I mulliganed a couple times and set my hand up differently, and then the game kind of like, you could push those games further. And the further the game got pushed, where like just using Storm and Venerated Rot Priest, where you push the game out further, you get like, it's a disadvantage to you. Like it starts to get like, I need to get this guy infected. Like, this is not good. But with this one, it's like, it's great to get turn 2 wins. Turn 3 is awesome. But if the game pushes, this delivers. So it doesn't fizzle out. It's like, and to the advantage of me, I've noticed like winning these games, like, they'll counter a Rot Priest, okay, and then pass turn to me. It'll be turn 2 or turn 3. And then you can see where they're like smirking, and they're like, okay, like, what you gonna do, buddy? I countered your Rot Priest, like, and then you play Ink Moth. And they're like, that's different. And then turn 4, you can usually get Ink Moth up to lethal depending on what you have in your hand. So the Rot Priest is great. I would not take the Rot Priest out of here. I have come to love the Rot Priest, but as like a side man, kind of like, yeah, the Rot Priest delivers. It wins some games, but not alone. Not alone. It takes a team of goons. It takes a team of lizards to win this hand, man. But I'm just yakking about it. And what we are going to go ahead and do is we are going to do like an extensive like explanatory deck tech of this. So you'll want to tune in for that video if you're interested. And again, look below, and that'll give you a link to this deck list. And so you can look at the cards and you can play test and see what I'm talking about and see if you can get those turn 2 wins while goldfishing on Moxfield. So have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys do not watch it, MTG Deckmasters. MTG Deckmasters. It's the most inspiring modern channel on YouTube. I love it. I love the channel. So go ahead to MTG Deckmasters. His decks are very optimized. They're very creative. They're not like kind of stupid like mine are a little bit. But that being said, they're very good, and there's tons of food for thought there. Whether you want to build janky decks, good decks, MTG Deckmasters. Get over there right now and watch those videos.